Hi. In the cabin again. It still needs lots of work, and I've got some touch-up paint going on behind. And yeah, still a building site, as you can see. And it gets really warm and sunny. When it's sunny, it gets really warm. And because we've had 2 days of rain, it's actually really cold in here. So I'm like, ooh. Which I wasn't kind of expecting, but it's much better for the light, the fact that it's overcast, which is good. So it's not going to be glaring. And yeah, so basically I didn't bring a blanket. Normally I bring a blanket for practicing. Actually, I've got a shawl. So this can be my yoga blanket, my shawl, and I'll put it on now. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so maybe you could put your name in the chat box if you're here, and I want to see who's here, if you fancy it. And then we'll get started. I quite like to know, before I start, I quite like to know that there's at least one of the people I'm expecting here before I start, because they tend to come every week. So it's quite nice to know if you're one of them. Then I'll just get started. And have I got any news? I'm just thinking. Anything that'd be relevant? No, don't think so. Other than that, I'm still feeling amazing from this cleanse that I did. It's totally transformed my body. It's like my hormones have settled down. Hi, Ruth. Ruth, I'm just getting evangelical about the cleanse I just did. So my hormones have completely settled down. I'm not going to go into graphic detail, but let's just say my cycle was high. Yay! I've got some people I know here, so that's good. So then I can start in a minute. I'm just going to quickly just say my cycle was really not okay before, like lots of pain, lots of premenstrual stuff, lots of yucky. Just I won't go into details, but it was disgusting. Put it that way. My actual moon time was disgusting, and now completely settled down. So so because I'm now an evangelist, come and talk to me if you want to know about this cleanse that I did, because I'm not selling it. It's my friend who is the person who I got it through and everything. So she's telling it and guiding people through it. But I'm just turned into a complete nut job on it. I'm like born again. So I'm keep telling people about it because I can't tell you how good it's been for me. So it's great news. Thanks, Ruth. And I know I've already converted Eve, so she's part of my born again little sect. So I want to hear about that. I want to hear about that from you, Eve, at some point. So let's get started so I don't waffle on too much. And I will just focus the camera so that you will see a bit of the trestles. Actually, I can see that now, but hopefully that's a good amount. That's a good amount for you to see. I could bring it a bit closer so you don't see the trestles. Maybe that's better. But then we have the chance that you might not be able to see me if I'm standing up. Okay, so let's get going. Pretending I'm an American YouTuber, which is most of them are. Okay, I'll bring this over here. I'm just going to do one little test to see if you can see me when I stand up. You can kind of see me enough, but that's why it was better further back. Anyway, you can see me enough, I think. I'm in a silly mood. Okay, great. I don't want to take the socks off. Okay, I'm going to take them off later. It's quite cold in here. So you find yourself in a comfortable and comfortable position that feels good for you. Just fold up my scarf. Place it over there. And hopefully, I'd love some feedback afterwards on the internet, because I've got it outside in a plastic bag and in a sweeping up brush tray, whatever they're called, dustpan. In a plastic bag and a dustpan outside, and Google tells me it's really fast, the internet. So I want some feedback at some point. Building site yoga, that's a niche market. It's true. We could do building site yoga. This could be my thing. Okay. Yeah, so nice cross-legged position, or kneeling is fine, anything like that. And find yourself something comfy. Like a little cushion or something. We'll start by really just centering, bring ourselves into the room. You might want to have your hands on your knees, or you could even put one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, just to start with. And begin to calm down the body, calm down your nervous system by gently lengthening the exhale and then deepening your inhale. Notice how, as you lengthen your exhale, the next time you breathe in, it's naturally deeper and naturally stronger, because your body knows what to do. So as you breathe out, breathing out all the air as much as you can. And your next inhale will be a deep lung full of breath. Notice the softening as you exhale. So really take time to soften out your shoulders or face muscles as you exhale. Around the brow, if you notice you're squinting like I often do. And then begin to start to make, a few adjustments so that as you inhale, there's a lengthening and your heart is beginning to rest over your pelvis and your head is beginning to rest over your heart. So there's a lifting from the crown of the head on every inhale. And then we'll start by chanting the Om vibration 3 times. So you could bring both your hands to the heart. I'm placing one hand over the other, but you could come into Namaste if you want. Or keep your hands on your knees. And let us begin with our 3 Om vibrations. And then gently open your eyes. And we'll begin by placing the hands on the knees and coming into Brahmanaka, where we're moving from the base. So this is a wonderful one for the base chakra, Muladhara. So you're kind of, hang on. Sorry, I'm doing that coughing thing in the morning. Lovely. Sorry, it's not very attractive. Okay, so gently allowing the breath to guide you as you move in a circle just from your hips. So right at your base, you're moving. Your legs will be staying pretty still. Your sit bones will be staying fairly still, might be rocking a little bit. Just moving around. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Using your lovely strong breath, but it can be quite slow and gentle, but it's still great to bring in your stronger breath to really wake up the body as you're moving in this way. You can imagine a circle being drawn above your head so that you're fairly straight from your base of your spine right to the crown of your head, keeping an upright position. And the next time you're facing forward, we'll move in the other direction. And with the breath, so inhaling forward, exhaling back. And then start to decrease the circles. So you're making them smaller, and eventually you'll come just to a seated point where your heart is over your sit bones and the crown of the head is over your heart. Lovely, fantastic. Okay, so moving forward. So seated cat, inhale, exhale back. This one can get linked to Svadhisthana, which is the sacral chakra, flowing water chakra, rather than the base where we've just been doing earth, grounding earth. Inhale forward, exhale back. Really using your breath to guide these movements. Inhaling, exhaling. Feeling your spine wake up. The spinal column, getting some energy flowing. Getting the spinal fluid flowing. And then start to reduce the movement. So you're not stopping suddenly, but just very gently reducing to your sitting. The hips, heart and head And then we'll begin by lifting up the hands, linking the fingers together and pointing and gently moving from side to side. Rocking, side stretching. So with the breath this time can be kind of a bit more fluid, so you don't have to necessarily inhale one way and exhale the other. You could take you can find that you're taking faster breaths or slower breaths. Really, and enjoy this rocking feeling. So you're keeping your arms as straight as you can. You're just gently rocking from side to side. And then begin to decrease the movement, reducing it so that there's just a dot above your head. And then bring the hands down to the shoulders. So the hands will be sitting on your shoulders and your upper arms are parallel with the mat. So you might want to just give yourself a little bit of a rest, and that's fine. You don't have to start exactly the same time. And we'll just turn. Get a nice, powerful twist. But again, keeping it super slow. If you really want to go this slow, you can go really slowly. It just depends on your body and how it's feeling. And remember, it's the morning, so you might not want to be going so really fast. So I've got this, so annoying. At the moment, I'm really getting a frog in my throat at the moment. I'm back on the golden seal, don't worry. So this one, my breath is quite powerful. In through the nose, out through the nose. So using it almost a bit like a kriya, or like a strong pranayama breath. That's because I'm choosing to do it fairly fast. You might want to be going slower than this. Getting the energy pumping. This one would be linked to Tadasana, which we've actually kind of missed. We've skipped one ahead. So Tadasana is not Tadasana, Manipura, is your fire point, your solar plexus. And then gently reduce the movement and bring the arms down. Oh, that's strong. So if that's strong on your neck, either of you, Eve or Ruth, you can just always take time out with things like that. I forgot to say that. Making sure that you don't feel like you have to keep going. And so we're just doing some shoulder rotations. And then backwards. Lovely. Fantastic. Let's bring in the neck. So we'll just, in case we have put any pressure on the neck, we'll just reduce. Sorry, not reduce. We'll just release the neck out a little bit. Looking over to the side, and then forward, and then over to the other side. Forward again. There we are. Exhaling. Inhale forward and exhale. It's nice. Just a couple more times. I mean, last time. It's not saying things right today. And then we'll bring the left ear to the left shoulder, keeping the shoulder lovely and loose and soft. And then bring out the hand. You can touch the mat if you wish to, or lift it. It makes it stronger and quite strong on your arm. And then bring the head back up And exhaling to the other side. You can bring out your hand if you like. See how that is. And gently bring it back up. And having a look down at your ankles. We're taking our neck rotations. So over to one side, inhaling, and then exhaling over to the other side. Being careful with your neck. So we're just arching the head over rather than taking it back. Take 3 neck rotations like this. Very gentle. And when you're ready, you can go in the other direction. Finding your own pace and noticing any little clucky areas or any creaking. And then exhaling down. So in your own time, so if you're still finishing off, that's fine. And bringing yourself back up. Bring your arms out to the side. And we'll bring the palms up. Palms forward, palms down, palms back, down, forward, up, forward, down, 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 back, down, forward, forward, up, and then lift up the hands, stretching really high, bringing the hands behind you, opening up the chest, inhale, exhale, release, lifting up, exhaling, opening up the chest, inhale, exhale, release, one more time, open up, and then bringing the hands, lifting up, then bringing the hands down to the knees. Bring out your feet and just have a little rock from side to side of your knees. And then bringing the feet together. And then having the feet a little bit away from your hips so that they're it's a bit of a wider Baddha. Inhaling, lifting up, and then exhale, gently folding forward. I've got a cushion underneath me, so I'm going to put the cushion away, and it just feels better to come forward without the cushion. Nice, gentle, deep breaths. So really breathing into this morning stretch. Remember, it might take a little while for the hips and the inner thighs to wake up, the muscles to wake up. And gently bring yourself back up, closing your knees, bring yourself onto all fours. This is the time when, because I'm not on a carpet, this is the time when I like to have something under my knees. And we'll start by doing a figure of 8 with our hips. So really gently moving your hips in that 8 what's it called? Form. Yeah, so really giving it your hips a nice wake up. We've been sitting for quite a while actually, so you probably noticed that. Making sure your hands are underneath your shoulders and your knees are under your hips, and the knees are hip width apart. And you can lift up your pelvic floor whenever you remember. Lifting up your core muscles and tummy. And then bringing the movement to stillness. And we'll just rock backwards and forwards. So exhaling back and inhale forwards. And you can almost come to like a funny cross between upward dog and cobra. And then back almost into child. Inhale up. But you might not want to come that far forward. It just depends on your back. You might be like wanting to go just like this. It's fine. Or like that. It's amazing when if you hang around babies, they do this quite a lot as they're preparing to crawl and things. So they're kind of like doing a lot of this backwards and forwards thing. Oh. And then bringing the spine back to neutral, making sure that your hands are now still below your shoulders, because they might have moved a little bit. And we'll bring up the right arm and the left leg. So we're really strengthening the tummy muscles here. The eyes are looking down, so you're just looking near your left hand. Deep breaths, and then exhaling down the hand and the leg, and then the left hand and the right leg. So I'm flexing my foot, and my arm and my leg is parallel with the mat, with the floor. Strong tummy muscles, strong core. Lovely deep breaths. Looking down at the mat. And then exhaling down your arm and your leg. Fantastic. Good. Okay, so I'm just going to take off my socks. Oh. Oh, the angel hall's so warm. This place is normally really warm. So it's good to know. It's good to know that we're going to definitely need to be using our heater. And eventually we might get a wood burner. So bringing my shawl back. Okay, so let us open up the knees and then come back into child, stretching out our back. So really let's do extended child. We can even lift up onto our fingertips. That's quite fun doing that. Let's see what it's like to really stretch out the back. See, does it affect your back differently? Can you feel it stretching a different area of your back or a bit more than if you just put your hands flat and then put your hands on your fingertips? See what that's like. And then gently stretching out your fingers. They're about shoulder width apart now. Bringing the knees into hip width, turning the toes around and then coming into hover. That's quite nice. Giving yourself a strong, engaged belly. And then gently bring yourself back so that your chest is going back into half downward dog. And then lifting up, stretching out the backs of the legs on tiptoes. And then bringing the heels down, walking out your heels. So you're walking out your dog. Nice. And then we could keep the heels down as much as they want to go down. Lift up the belly. Lift up the pelvic floor. And then you could bring one foot off the mat. I don't mean up in three-legged dog like that, but just a little one foot off the mat and press the other one down. And then the other foot off the mat and press the other heel down. See how that goes. It's quite nice to do that. Have a little play around. And then we better start walking. So we'll walk our feet to the front of the mat, bending the knees. And coming right close to the front of the mat. And just hanging here in Uttanasana. Really just enjoying the stretch of your lower back, right down the backs of the legs, the hips. And you can hold your elbows. That's pretty nice. And just kind of hang here and give yourself a little bit of a bounce. And then gently releasing the arms. We'll bring ourselves up very, very, very slowly. We're just going to do the stacking one at a time of the vertebrae, the vertebra. It's one vertebrae at a time. And then bring yourself up. Don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's really raining. And coming into Tadasana. Softening the shoulders, softening the face muscles. Gently tucking in your tailbone a little bit. Opening up your arms just a little bit, so we're opening up our chest. Lifting through the arches of the feet. Having a little look down at your feet. And then lifting your toes up. And then placing one toe, so the little toe, and then the next one, and the middle toe, then the second toe, and then the big toe, placing them down so they're nice and wide. Strengthening inside your legs as you lift the arches of your feet. Bring the hands to the heart. Lifting up, stretching up, and then gently bending the knees and bringing yourself back down into forward fold. Inhale, flat back, and then exhale, folding forward. Take a breath in, and then step back to downward dog. Take a couple of breaths in downward dog. And then on an in-breath, bring yourself forward so you're coming into plank. So you can lower the knees down, especially if you're menstruating or anything like that. You can lower the knees. Those come into strong plank. Take a couple of breaths in plank. And exhale, lower the knees down and the chest down and the chin down into Ashtangasana. So you've got your bottom in the air and your hands are by your shoulders and your elbows are right in at your sides. So be careful of your lower back and your neck. Ashtangasana is the 8-point posture. And gently bring yourself down onto the mat and come up for a moment in Sphinx. So you're on your forearms. And this is quite a nice alternative to Cobra. You can give yourself a little rock of your hips, if you fancy. They're kind of free to do that. And then resting down on your hands for a moment. Let's take a tiny little Shavasana on your front. And then bring your hands back by your shoulders, elbows in at your sides. And then if you feel like you can, you're coming up into a higher cobra. So bending your elbows still, and you're rolling back your shoulders and away from your ears and opening up your chest. Take a breath here. And then back into downward dog. And a couple of breaths in downward dog. And then lifting up the right leg into three-legged dog. We're stretching out the legs possibly parallel with your upper body. And then bringing the leg through and clipping down the back foot. So it's your right leg is forward and your left leg is back, but it's okay if you've got it the other way around. I'm just going to grab my cloth. I just hid it. It's good to know what's going on. So looking forward. So this is the warrior one posture. Looking forward. And we're going to inhale up the arms. And we can you can clasp your fingers and point your forefingers. That's quite nice. Or you can even have your hands separate. Lift up your toes if you feel like they're getting overexcited and gripping on. And then gently, facing forward. Opening up the arch of the back foot. So you're rolling the back foot back rather than inwards. Lifting up your mula bandha, your pelvic floor. And it's heel to heel alignment with warrior one. And then we're opening up to warrior two, where it's heel to arch alignment. So we're gently going to heel toe our foot. So we're now heel to arch alignment. Opening up into warrior two. Nice, strong warrior. So really feeling from the heart, the energy is coming out through the hands. Lovely. And then bring yourselves down into Parsvakonasana. So side angle posture. So holding, so that the forearm is resting on your thigh. So it might be, you could even get it up. That's fine. Like this. Do this kind of thing because you're really feeling the strength is in your legs. Nice. Straight. Some people practice it like this, and that's fine if you need to practice like that. And it's a different way of teaching it. But the way I do it is straight. You've got a straight line of your body. And then gently bringing yourself back up. Warrior two. And then clasp behind. See how this is? And we'll do humble warrior. So we're clasping our hands behind and bringing ourselves forward. So you're coming in between your leg a little bit. And in the front of your leg. And then you can lift up. If it's comfortable for you to do so, you can lift up here with your hands resting behind. Gentle, slow breaths. That's lovely. Stretching out your shoulders. And then gently bringing yourself up. Fantastic. Facing forward, you can also have hands on the hips. Placing the hands down and looking forward. And then bringing your left foot to meet the right foot. So your feet are hip width apart. The outside edges of the feet are in line with the mat. Exhale forward. Inhale, have a little flat back, look up. Exhale down. And then gently bringing the arms like wings up above you. And then the hand is coming to the heart center. Fantastic. I've got a cute little wasp, little baby wasp on my mat. So I'm just going to, I think it's confused because it's really quite small, but it's confused because it's cold and it doesn't know what it's doing. put it outside. Don't know if it'll last long. Okay, so hands to the heart center. Lovely. And then inhale, lifting up, stretching up, and then bring the hands to the heart again and coming down, lifting up through the arches of your feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, gently folding forwards. Take a breath in. And then exhale back to downward dog. So we're taking a couple of breaths here in downward dog. On the next inhale, bringing yourself to plank and taking a couple of breaths in plank. Remember, you can lower your knees down. In fact, sometimes it's really good to do that. It just depends on how you are today. A nice strong belly if you're in plank, and keeping your shoulders soft away from the ears. And then we'll come down into a lower plank. So coming onto your forearms. This is strong. So it's a couple of breaths here. And then lower the knees down. And then bring yourself down. And again, we'll come into Sphinx. Good old Sphinx. It's just nice and restful, but still be careful of your lower back. And then have a little rest. You can go on the other side, as we did, lie on the head the other side. And then bring the hands near the shoulders and the elbows in at the sides. We'll come up into a higher cobra if it feels okay to do that. Otherwise, just come into the little cobra where you'll low down like this, or back into Sphinx, or just rest. Here comes the sun. And then exhaling down. Turning the toes round, back to the knees for a bit, and then gently back into downward dog. And a couple of breaths in downward dog. And you can always do things like walk out the dog here, if you fancy. And then we'll lift up our left leg. Oh, I'm getting a little habit of doing rotations. I won't lift up my legs. Lift up the left leg and gently bring it through and place the front leg between the hands and clip down heel to heel the right foot so that it's down and facing in a little bit, just turned in about 15 degrees or something. And then looking forward, warrior one. So you've got your knee over your arch and you can see your big toe a little bit in the front one. And you're lifting the arch of the back foot. So we're not collapsing in here like this. We're lifting the arch of the back foot. Lovely, strong back leg. Both the legs are nice and strong. Facing forward. Strong belly, strong mula bandha. And then opening up into warrior two. Now with warrior two, remember it's heel to arch alignment. So you're actually the front foot, if you just move your front foot a tiny bit. So it's heel to arch and opening up. I can't see you. Oh, yeah. I can't see myself on the screen. Okay, so keeping yourself nice and straight, strong arms. Remembering the energy, the prana is coming from the heart. Right arms. Nice, strong warrior two. And you've got your knee over ankle and you can see your big toe opening up your hips. And then coming down and bringing yourself forward into Parshvakonasana. Nice and straight. Remember, you could lift up your arm. You're not actually using your arm much to support you, just a little bit. And then bring yourself up. And then bringing the hands behind, clasping your hands. Exhaling forward, leg. And lifting up your arms. Humble warrior. Bringing the hands back down to the sacrum, bringing yourself up. That's fantastic. And then you've got your hands available to come down. And then bring your right foot to meet your left foot, hip width apart. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gently opening up, stretching up, and bring the hands back down to the heart. Fantastic, good. It's really nice. Okay, so we're standing in Tadasana. And we're just going to just have a quick drink. And bring the legs a little bit further apart, and we'll just take some swinging and twisting because we've just done some strong, full-bodied hatha yoga postures. And we're just going to have a little swing out, give our body a little rest from holding, and relax our warrior. Lovely, gentle, calming breaths. Fantastic. Okay, so bringing the feet back to heart, and we'll gently, with the eyes closed, if it feels possible, otherwise keep your eyes open. We'll move from forwards to back. So we're kind of doing almost a bit like a Michael Jackson lean forward, but I can't. I mean, obviously, you're not going anywhere near that. And then forwards and side to side. Just feeling into how your body is right now. How your balance is. And any areas that are feeling a little bit tight. And coming back to center, and then gently lift. It's quite fun trying it with your eyes closed. We're just going to lift up onto tiptoes, find a drishti, an eye gaze, to focus on, a point of focus, and then gently lower feet down, taking inhale up, but then taking a few breaths when you're up. And then gently lower down. Fantastic. And then lowering down. That's great. So I'm going to bring us into Garudasana, which is the eagle. We have done it before, so depending on who's here. So I'm going to just show you the arms first. So your arms, you're facing, you're bringing up your arms, so your hands are facing your head, and then you're bringing your arms in, and the right one is going to go over the left, and you're coming into the kind of prayer. So the right elbow is sitting in the crease of the left elbow, then you bring your palms together and your thumbs will be facing towards your head. So if that's too much, you can just take your hands like this on your shoulders, or just find any way of holding yourself in some kind of bind. It'll be different for everyone depending on the flexibility. And if you lift up your arms, it's stronger. It's like a stronger stretch. And so we'll release the arms down. And because we're going to do right on top of the arms, we're going to do left on top of the leg, because this is opposite. So it's almost like you're twisting in this way, like that. And it keeps you nice and steady. And so we'll plant the right leg, bend the knee, and then bring over the left leg over. And you can just put your foot down on the mat, or you can lift your foot up and do half a bind, or you can like fully bind. I can do that. Fully bind like this, so that your foot is behind. Your left foot is behind your right calf. Okay, brilliant. So let's start with the arms. That's sometimes easier. So we'll bring the hands in facing towards your head, and then right elbow into the crease of the left elbow, palms together, thumbs facing forward. Lower down the legs. Lift up your right leg, because you've got bent. Lift up your left leg. Lift up your left leg because your right leg is bent. And then find your bind wherever that is. It might be that you're placing your toe down. So see how that is. And then you can lift up your arms. I'm just going to go to the side so you can see me on the side. So Garudasana, Garuda being the vehicle of Vishnu, this big, amazing bird creature who was a friend of the humans. And he was the enemy of snakes. And he used to carry Vishnu around. So then it's an eagle creature. So a bit like an eagle. So bring yourself forward if you can. So like you're looking over the cliff, an eagle looking over the cliff. And then bring yourself back up. And then release down. Oh, that's full on. So something I forgot to say is we're really, with all balances, is lifting up your pelvic floor, so Mula Bandha, and you're really engaging all your core muscles around here. That's really important, because otherwise you can hurt your back. So very, very important. And if anything is too much for you, just do this. And then it becomes more like it's still a balance. You're still having to balance. You're still having to do things. So let's do it on the other side. And I won't do so much explaining, but I must remind you, I'll probably remind you about your tummy, keeping your abdominal muscles. Okay, so bring up your arms, and then bringing the left on top, and then bringing the palms together, and then planting your left leg, bending the knee, lifting up the right, finding your place, wherever that is. And then your eye gaze is at the third eye, so you'll have soft focus. You'll probably be quite blurry. And lifting up your upper arms, and lifting so they're parallel to the mat, if that's okay, on your shoulders. That makes it stronger. And then exhaling, bringing yourself forward, so that you're the eagle looking over the cliff. Ooh, it's hard for me to stay in this position too. Okay, so I've got my eye gaze as actually at the candle, but so your third eye. So an inward eye gaze. And then gently bring yourself back up. Releasing the legs and releasing the bind, the hands. Oh, well done. That was quite strong. And yeah, I forgot to say about your keeping yourself nice and strong in your abdominal area. Wonderful. Oh, well done, guys. That's really good. Well done. Okay, so let's open up the legs. Just about, not so far. meter for some people, will be a bit less for me. And we'll come down into a high squat. So this is goddess pose, bringing your thumb and forefinger together, and we'll lift up one foot onto tiptoes and then the other foot. Doing quite a strong practice. So really breathing into this alternate heel lift. You can change your mudra around, little thumb, forefinger mudra, chin mudra. You can turn it around, so like dancing goddess. Bring the goddess, so you have one at your belly area and one over the head, and then the other side. And then bring the hands onto the thighs, nice strong squat. And we're going to come into the Yogi Squat, Malasana. So coming down, strong legs, be careful of your back. And into Malasana with the hands at the heart area, just in front of the heart. And if you need to, with this one, if you've got any blocks or cushions or anything, putting them behind your heels, really good, can support you. And we'll gently come down. We'll just use that as a moving down posture. Oh, well done. That was strong. I don't know why I do that. Go on about gentle yoga, and then we bring in all these strong postures. I think this live stream class is slowly developing into more of a, I wouldn't really call it gentle yoga. It's just a mixed level yoga class. So yeah, it should be suitable for most people, as long as they're not absolute beginners. Okay, so bringing ourselves into Janusashasana. I'm just going to put my socks back on because of the temperature in here. So your left heel is in at your groin area and its thigh, and your right leg is straight. So if you have a strap or anything similar, like a belt or anything, you can place the strap around your foot if you want to do that. And we'll come into our side stretch first. So gently breathing out the side of the body, breathing into the side of the body. Deep, slow, strong breaths. And bringing the hand down, and then we can do some lovely rotations of with the arm. Changes our stretch slightly. And then bringing the hand to face our foot. So having a little look at our foot, and this is Janusashasana, so knee to head pose. So either you're holding your foot, or you've got your strap, or you're just holding your thigh, your shin or your thigh. And your eye gaze, your drishti, is at your big toe. Stretching out the back of your leg. Lengthening on the inhale and a softening on the exhale. And then start to move into the twist by placing your right hand to the right side of your body, and your eye gaze moves over there. And so you might be holding a strap in your left hand or just holding on to your foot, the outside of your foot, or your shin, or up by your knee or thigh. And so having a look at your hand, hasta drishti. So hand focus. Lovely deep breaths in the twist. And then gently exhaling yourself up and placing your hand is behind and coming up into Stargazer. So straight right side of the body. So really feeling yourself all the way through here. Lovely and straight. And bringing yourself down. Nice, strong stretch. And then gently bringing your foot into your thigh. Oh, I kind of, a yawn even. That's good. It's good to yawn, I think. Gives nice kind of softening of the body when you yawn, especially when we're doing these yin yoga, all these these quieter part of the practice. So bring your side stretch over. So you're stretching out your right side now, the other side. Lovely deep breaths. Really feel into how your muscles are stretching. Really notice how when you breathe, they can be allowed to stretch a little bit more. And then bringing in the rotation of the arm changes the stretch slightly. Deep breaths. Fantastic. And then looking forward to the eye gazes at the big toe. And gently exhale forward. So either again, you've got your strap holding onto your foot or your shin. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, softening. And then gently moving into the twist. So placing your left hand to the side of you, and then you're having a look at your left hand. And then taking your hand on the outside of your foot, or you've got the strap, or your shin, or your knee, thigh. Eye gaze is at your hand, hasta drishti. Breathing into the twist of all you're giving your organs a nice twist as well. And then placing the right hand down on the other side. And coming up into Stargazer. So really nice stretch of your left side now. Right up through your arm. And then bring yourself down Great, fantastic. Oh, and we can come down onto our backs. So find something, if you like to have something under your head, then you can put something under your head. The knees hip width and your feet hip width. And then begin to bring in your knees into the chest and have a little rock around. And placing your hands on your knees. Exhaling your knees towards you. Inhale as they move away. So you're circling your knees. Having a lovely circle around. Knees coming closer, the knees further away. And then the other direction. Massaging your lower back. And then bring your right knee in towards you, kind of going a bit towards your armpit, past your ribs. And your left leg can be long and with a flexed foot. And then gently opening up the hip a little bit. So you're stretching out your hip and you leg, your right side. But you're just opening up the hip a little bit. And then bringing the knee in front of your chest again. And then over into the twist. Right leg and a straight left leg, and you're twisting over. Just twist over as far as is comfortable, and hope you've ideally got your right shoulder still on the mat and your right arm will be stretched out and you'll be looking over your right arm. And then straighten out your left leg, bring in the right leg. Exhaling the leg in towards you. And switch. Opening up your hip. So that you're coming into, you're basically placing your hand on your knee and then your left hand on your left knee and opening up your hip. But you're placing your right hand on your right hip so that you can keep a balance, so that you're actually you're not allowing your right hip to lift up off the mat. And then moving over to the other side, and we're coming in, stretching out the left arm, keeping the shoulder as much on the mat as possible. And so you're only lowering the left leg down to the other side as far as it can go without compromising your shoulders and your chest, keeping them parallel, keeping them flat on the mat pretty much. Might be lifted slightly, but your arm is holding it down. Deep, slow breaths. Just remembering you're allowing yourself to really fully relax. And then bringing your hips back down and your knees up towards the ceiling. Bring the knees into the chest again. Have a little rock, like rotating the hips. And then the other way. And placing your feet down, and we're just gently rocking the pelvis. So you're lifting the pelvis on the exhale off the mat just a little bit. Lifting up the pelvic floor, the pelvis. And we're going to go through we're not going to take a long time on this, but we're going to come up to bridge. So flow yourself up to bridge, by peeling your vertebrae off the mat. You're coming up into bridge posture. Your knees are hip width apart, your feet are hip width apart, and you're lifting up into Setu Bandhasana. Take a few breaths here. If it feels okay on your back, so be super careful. And then exhale, placing one vertebra at a time back onto the mat. And then rocking back into a neutral spine. Take a breath in, and then exhale up again. We'll just do it this one more time, coming up into bridge. And you can clasp underneath with your hands if you wish. So you're up on your shoulder blades, up on your shoulders. Take a couple of breaths here. Release the hands if you've got them in a clasp, and gently bringing your spine back down onto the mat, placing it down. And bring your knees into the chest again and having a little rock from side to side. We snuck in a bridge there. What we needed, a back bend. And then bring the hands into, the feet into the hands, into happy baby. Having a bit of a rock about. That's great. And then you can always stretch open. It's quite nice to do this one where you take hold of your toes or something and you stretch open into wide leg forward fold, or wide leg but not forward fold. So you're doing it lying down. And then bring the feet together and coming into Baddha Konasana, lying down. So Supta Baddha Konasana, resting with one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. And you can always support your Baddha Konasana with cushions on the side as well, if you feel like gravity is a bit much. And it's opening up, yes, a bit, if you want to have a more restorative experience. Begin to rest. So you're allowing all your thoughts, all emotions and any sensations in the body just to be as they are. So you can just rest with these feelings, these thoughts. And we're letting our breath completely relax us now. So there's no need to engage any muscles. So if you're finding you've had enough in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can come down into Shavasana, so you really aren't involving any muscles, you're just relaxing completely. Or if you want to stay longer in Baddha Konasana, you may. And feeling the then peaceful relaxation. Just fill your whole body and wash over you like a warm duvet or warm bath. Completely resting in this peacefulness. So this peace is resting at your crown of your head. Feeling the peace residing there, right at your crown, connects you with the whole universe. They are all one. Everything is, it's there. It's a deep peace. Peace in knowing this. And then feeling that peacefulness to around our head, the back of the head, right around the brow where your third eye is, my third eye point. All the way down your cheeks, and your lips and your jaw, your eyes, your nose. Knowing that there's a peacefulness here in the resting in your third eye, point of intuition. All seeing. And all knowing. And feeling this wonderful, relaxed peacefulness moving down the back of your neck, around the front of your neck, your collarbone. Knowing that this is a place of communication, voicing our own truth, and what feels beneficial speech. Knowing that how we speak and how we communicate can benefit others, be of benefit to all. Then gently moving down to relaxing your arms and your hands, shoulders, right round the back of the shoulder blades, and your thoracic spine, right to your chest, sternum area, into the heart center. Place of openness, place of connection to all beings. Loving kindness and deep compassion for all beings, human, creature, plants, whole of what we call nature. planet, and deep compassion for ourselves. And feeling the peacefulness all around our ribs. Coming to diaphragm, solar plexus area, just above our navel, above the belly button. And around the back. And feeling this determination and fire, will, relaxing here. So peace resides with our strength. So like our warrior postures, that are strong, willful, we're balancing those, we're practicing those with our loving, our gentle compassion, loving kindness, with a peacefulness. So our strength is offered to the world peacefully, with compassion, with awareness. Feeling that peacefulness all the way around this front girdle here. So your lumbar spine, those big, strong vertebra at the bottom of the spine, all the way around, feeling your organs, the lower organs, the way to bladder at the front, and the sacrum at the back. Your womb, if you're a woman. And then your more external version if you're a man. Really relaxing these areas, deep peace here. You know, our emotions, a peacefulness guiding our emotions, guiding our feelings, our tenderness. Our beautiful connection with others on a more base level. There's a peace there, a gentleness. And feeling this peace moving down to your hips, down your legs, to your feet, all the way around the pelvis, down to the root area, the inner muscles, gentle relaxation, peacefulness, feeling of security, soft relaxation around our security and our sense of home, our grounding, really feeling held. There's a gentle relaxation in that. We don't need to be held because we're already supporting ourselves. We're already held, just sometimes we forget. We don't need to worry about it. There's a gentle peacefulness there and the feeling of being held, feeling of being supported. Your whole body, every aspect of your being, every aspect of your humanness is filled with peace, because you are peace. Your fundamental, innate self is pure peace. Deep peace. And to bring a little bit of movement back into your body, you can just peacefully start to gently move fingers, maybe even just maybe gently rubbing the tips of your fingers with your thumb. Or your toes, having a little move, making a little movement in your toes. Then you may wish to stretch out your fingers or lift your hands above the head and stretch out right from your toes, right to the tips of your fingers. You might wish to draw your knees into your chest and just have a little rock around with your back. And then find your way onto your side. Then bring yourself back up to seated. You can find your comfortable seated position. You can either have your hands on your knees, or you could place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And start by, or sit with your gentle breathing. Inhale, lengthening through the crown. Exhale, gently softening. Then you could bring the hands to the heart. So I'm placing one hand over the other at the heart center. But you could bring in Namaste as well, heart. And we'll complete by chanting the Om vibration 3 times, finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring the hands into Prana Mudra above the head. Deep life-affirming breaths. And then taking the hands above the head in Namaste, down through the centers, Sahasrara, the crown, Ajna at the third eye, Vishuddhi at the throat, Anahata at the heart center. Let's go down. And then Manipura at the solar plexus, Svadhisthana at the sacrum, and Muladhara at the base, and then back up to the heart. Namaste. And thank you for coming. It's such a pleasure. I love teaching this class, however bizarre. And yeah, thank you for showing up. It's so nice to have you here, even if it's just, yeah, whenever you can make it. It's fine. Some people want to come back and then they can't this week, and that's totally fine. And sometimes we have people randomly from other countries joining in, which is nice. And yeah, lovely to see you, Ruth and Eve. Yeah, I hope that's all right for you. Yes, it's not as gentle as our Monday class, Ruth, I don't think. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's good to... Thanks, Eve. Eve's very supportive with her butterfly emojis. Oh, good. I'm pleased you liked it, Ruth, because I was actually a bit worried about your neck and your back. You know, when we did, I can't remember what we were doing. Oh God, yeah, all of this stuff and this and things like that. I was kind of like, oh no. Suddenly, kind of, it's hard to see when you can't see someone. Great, I'm so pleased. And both of you, the great thing is both of you know how to modify, so you know what you can and can't do. And you've been doing videos for a while. Yeah, great. And I keep trying to record 10-minute yoga videos because I get those requested quite a lot. People say, oh, can you do 10-minute morning one? What? The internet stopped a little. No. This is my perfect internet. What are you talking about? How could that be? The internet was good at first, then went fuzzy and stopped a little. Oh, what? It's so unreliable, isn't it? Skinny thing. Do you mean me? No. Internet. I don't know. It's the cleanse. If it's me, it's the cleanse. Everything's the cleanse. Oh, silly thing. Oh, spiny thing. Spinny. Oh, the spinny thing. Oh, yeah, the spinny thing. Yeah, exactly. So you have the spinny thing. That's weird. Could it be? Hopefully it's your internet. Bugger. I had two little moments to know if it was me or you. Okay, so Ruth, are you still here? I really need to know this. Did you have it where it spun out as well? Ruth, oh no, okay, bugger. Oh no, it was both of you. Sorry. Damn. Because my phone is outside in the thing and it was saying it was fast. So gutted. I thought I'd sorted out the internet once and for all, apart from, of course, when it does that strange thing. Like, when it's suddenly just very short. It'll be the signal in this area. It would have just kind of crapped out for a minute. And Pix says, now, I'm going to swear. I want to swear. See, I don't know if it's going to be, if we do eventually ever get fibre at Bowden, I don't know if it's going to be any better because we'll be, mind you, I am on the same 4G, so it might not help. Well, actually, you're on 3 and I'm on EE, so I don't know if they're different masts or not. They might be different masts. Grrr, that's me being angry. Grrr. That's my angry face. Yeah, I know the weather's not good, is it? Anyway, I just can carry on being annoyed. But basically, it's the best I've got. Don't know what else to do. Still love it though. Thanks. Okay, anyway, we probably should stop talking rubbish, shouldn't we? But it was BS. What does BS mean? Not BS. BS is bullshit. It's rude. But it was BS. Okay, do you mean? Yeah, anyway, I probably should stop talking nonsense. And yeah, lovely to see you guys. But it was basically fine. Yeah, great. Okay. I was hoping it was really clear. So okay. That's enough about internet, maybe. And they just let you know, I'm making more videos, and there's going to be, I keep trying to do 10-minute ones, but now I can never seem to get, like, I managed a 13-minute, I think. But anyway, and I'm doing another post-abdominal surgery one because that's a hit among people I don't know. So that's great, doing another one of them. Bye, Ruth. See you, darling. And I'll see you next week if you want to come. So the cabin will be a bit more done by then. Bye, Eve. Bye, Ruth. I think the other person is me. That's on there because they never talk. So it must be me. Okay. See you, darlings. I'll end the stream now.